Oh God. Oh, I don't know. I feel like Ellen might have a faster answer than me. I don't know. Decade from. Oh, I'm shit at this.
And now the end is near.
This new season keeps the elements from the first one. It's funny, the music is great, it's even better than the first season, and that is saying a lot, among other things. But I think this is a very important season because you time travel to the 60s and your characters face a lot of social issues that we in 2020 continue to witness. Allison is an activist in the civil rights movement, and Vanya and her relationship with Cece. So it's part of the story, and I think we need to see this kind of stories in TV productions that are so big, like the Umbrella Academy. So what do you think about that contrast from the 60s and the actual time?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, we need to see these stories more. We, of course, need more representation, and to be back in the 60s, and, for Allison to be experiencing what she's experiencing, and the shock of that, and the horrific, how horrific that is. And the storyline of falling in love with Sissy and the obstacles there, being LGBTQ having been illegal and considered a mental illness. And obviously both of these stories are extremely relevant now. So yes, in terms of, how grateful we are that the show has had the reach it's had, to know that these stories are going out into the world and hopefully will impact people feels like a positive thing.
Luther is constantly trying to find out who he is. He is not what his father told him. He tries so hard to become a leader just because his first name is number one. So Tom, you know him better than anyone. So what advice would you give to someone like him that is always asking so many questions about himself?
Yeah, I know, he needs therapy, doesn't he? Bless him. Yeah. I think, Luther's the kind of person that you kind of want to sit down and just have a good old chat with and go, right, let's talk about it. Because, he's constantly on this discovery, especially since last season, and he found out all this stuff about his dad and it all meaning nothing. And I think, I can't even imagine what that's like, your whole life purpose and everything your whole existence, and then you sort of realize it's all for nothing. So he's kind of got to start again. He's really got to start again this season, and that's kind of what he does. He's like, all right, this is me outside of that world, and I think he kind of enjoys it. But then I think what I love about his arc this season is that he goes back with the family, not because he has this overwhelming desire to save the world and be a leader, but to be with his family and to try and help and be part of the team. And I think that's a big discovery for him in this season.
Back in 2018, I had the chance to talk with part of the cast, with Ellen, Tom, and me, and David. And I asked them that if they had the chance to play another character in the series, who would they choose? And they said Klaus. And I think that's because he has the greatest power of all the siblings. And because he actually never says goodbye. He lost his brother Ben, but he has the chance to talk with him and interact with him, and I would like to know, Robert, what do you think about this power?
About talking to dead folks?
Yes.
I suppose, I've met a couple of people who can do it, funny enough. Really, who have keep it to themselves, because it's not a very popular thing to talk about. But I think it's not it's not as super as we'd give it credit for, And I'm not talking about mad raving lunatics, talking about some some people with their feet on the ground, particularly women I've met in my life who can communicate with some dead people. I don't think they can be as selective as Klaus,
Okay.
But I think the main thing is you walk into a graveyard and it's full of dead people, and there's one dead person in that graveyard who believes in you, right in the heart, and that person is Ben Hargreeves. Isn't that right, Ben Hargreeves?
It is. Thank you.
Curious, how many more rock bottoms are you gonna have to hit before you start taking care of yourself?
Thinking of a number between 11 and 25.
And in this new season, they time travel and they end up in the 60s. So Justin, if Ben were still alive and you had the chance to write his own story, what he would have done? Klaus is a cult leader, Allison is an activist in the civil rights movement, Luther is some kind of bodyguard, Vanya is a nanny, Diego is just crazy. So what about Ben? What would you choose for him?
I would hope that Ben is as far removed from his family as possible.
Well, cheers, mate.
Living in the countryside with a family and probably teaching English at a local school. Quiet life.
There are a few movie references in this season. I don't know, maybe Snatch from Guy Ritchie when Luther is fighting, or even Watchmen in the first 5 minutes of the first episode. So, Emmy, if you had the chance to time travel, which decade would you choose to go? And which movie from that decade you recommend?
Oh God. Oh, I don't know. I feel like Ellen might have a faster answer than me. I don't know. Decade from. Oh, I'm shit at this.
Don't worry.
I don't want to waste your time. Wait, do you have an answer?
Well, also in terms of this, have you ever seen Desert Hearts?
No.
No.
Oy, so good. And it's a love story between two women, made in the 80s, takes place in the early or late 60s. Oh, I feel bad that I'm not remembering exactly, but it's phenomenal. It is so good. So I guess I go back to the 80s and chill, and that's the movie I'd watch and would love to have seen on the big screen. And I highly recommend it. And it's one of the films that like I showed to Marin and actually to Steve. And if you see that film, there's tiny little moments that for me are an ode to Desert Hearts.
Quest for Fire, I'd say. That's the movie, right? Because you just go back, be a caveman, you know what I mean? You don't have to pay no council, you pay no taxes and stuff. That'd be a fairly simple life. No one's going to put no rules on you.
Okay, and what about you, Justin?
Sorry, so I'm supposed to choose a decade and then a movie related.
1990s and Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I would choose Jurassic Park and go to the age of the dinosaurs and probably be eaten alive.
Should we live in the same cave,
Yeah.
Justin?
That's all. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, Greta. See you later.
See you.